Back when Cold War Zombies had just released, I made a video talking about whether we need Mule Kick in Cold War Zombies or not, and one of the reasons I was putting that sort of question out there is because I was kind of surprised that people were actually asking for a Mule Kick to come back. And the reason why that was kind of surprising to me is because Mule Kick has never been a popular perk, and that mostly stems from the way it was designed in the early days of Zombies in Black Ops 1. It had a lot of flaws. Being able to carry a third weapon seemed like such a great idea on paper, but in execution there were a lot of potential problems that were not considered. If you had two weapons and then you bought Mule Kick, whichever weapon you bought next would be your third weapon. And if you were to go down, you would lose all of your perks. Therefore, you would lose Mule Kick, which meant that you would lose your third weapon with it. It would just be gone forever. So sometimes what happened was that you would buy Mule Kick, then go and hit the box and immediately get a wonder weapon, and since you didn't have the option to move your weapons to different slots in your inventory, the wonder weapon would become your third weapon, which meant that now one of the most important tools used to keep you alive in the game would be gone forever if you were to go down just once, which would then reduce your chances of recovering from a setback significantly, and overall your chances of survival would decline. In that type of situation, Mule Kick would be partially responsible for your downfall. Back then, most perks didn't really offer any negatives. For the most part, they would all just make your life easier, and since there was a perk limit, the players had to choose, and since Mule Kick was the one perk that offered pros and cons instead of just pros, people just didn't really warm up to Mule Kick. Another problem with Mule Kick is that adding a third weapon to your arsenal makes cycling between the three weapons a bit of a headache. That's always been kind of annoying, and it's a problem that I think could be easily solved. All they have to do is make it so that if you want to go from your first weapon to your third weapon, instead of pressing triangle twice, you simply have to hold triangle and it would achieve the same thing. Another problem that Mule Kick had back in the old days was that there was no on-screen indication to let you know which weapon is your third. So that way you could make that your worst weapon, so if you eventually went down, it wouldn't be that big of a loss. And it's such a simple thing, it could fix a lot of problems, and for some reason, it took 3 different zombie games that were released in a span of 6 years to finally have an on-screen indicator for the third weapon. And the studio that finally implemented it wasn't even Treyarch. We had Mule Kick in Black Ops 1, 2, and 3, and the same problem was very much present in all of those games. And finally, when we got Infinite Warfare Zombies, Infinity Ward was the one that decided to implement that solution. It literally took 6 years. When we got Black Ops 4, they decided to tackle some of the issues with Mule Kick. They added an indicator for the third weapon, and the perk modifier would now give you your third weapon back if you were to repurchase Mule Kick after going down. But that just meant that in order for you to actually enjoy using 3 weapons without having to worry about going down and losing one, you had to have Mule Kick in your last perk slot, and there were a lot of better perks with better modifiers that you could use instead of Mule Kick. So Black Ops 4 didn't really do that much to help elevate Mule Kick's declining popularity. In my opinion, the best version of Mule Kick was the one that was done by Sledgehammer Studios in World War II Zombies. It was basically just a mod that you could pick as part of your loadout before every game, and that took care of a lot of issues that Mule Kick originally had, because you were able to carry 3 weapons the whole game no matter how many downs you took. And now here we are. With the release of Mauer der Toten, Mule Kick has returned yet again. The description for it reads, carry a third primary weapon. For Tier 1, crafted equipment grants an additional equipment if able. For Tier 2, all enemies have a small chance to drop ammo. For Tier 3, stowed weapons slowly refill ammo from stock. For Tier 4, 25% chance to keep non-retrievable equipment when used. And for Tier 5, third primary weapon is recovered when repurchasing Mule Kick. So how good is Mule Kick in Cold War Zombies? To answer that question, I think we need to answer another question first, which is how much better or how much more different Mule Kick is from its predecessors in the previous games. Well, not having a perk limit in Cold War Zombies definitely helps. You no longer have to choose between Mule Kick and other perks. The basics of the perk itself are pretty much the same as the one in Black Ops 4. You buy Mule Kick, you buy a third weapon, and if you go down, you can just buy Mule Kick again and you'll get your third weapon back. And I should mention this small detail that I noticed. When you repurchase Mule Kick using the perk machine itself, the game basically just hands you back the weapon. But when you repurchase Mule Kick using the Wonder Fizz machine, the third weapon appears as a drop right in front of the Wonder Fizz machine on the ground. And if you're rebuying all your perks in the middle of a chaotic round, you might not see it, so that's something to bear in mind. The problem with Mule Kick in Cold War Zombies is that it doesn't really solve most of the old problems that Mule Kick had. It does take care of one very important issue, and that's the recovering of your third weapon. You don't really have to worry about that anymore, and that in and of itself is a very big improvement. But some of the other issues are still there, and this game doesn't really address any of them. Instead, it sort of compensates by offering you other additional benefits that don't really have to do much with the very nature of the perk, which is the ability to carry a third weapon. Cycling through your weapons is still a bit of a pain. It's still the same old issue, which is a little bit unfortunate. I was kind of hoping that wouldn't be a problem anymore, but it's still there. And I don't know if that's ever gonna get fixed. You're still not able to move your weapons to different slots. I think Mule Kick could really use that sort of customization capability, but I think it would be too much of a hassle for the developers to do that, and that's why I don't think we're ever gonna get something like that. It's simply too much work to solve a small problem like this. So that I understand. What I don't understand is that there is no indicator for the third weapon, and I just don't get why we regressed and sort of reverted back to the old Mule Kick in that sense. Maybe they thought since recovering your third weapon is not as much of an issue anymore, that it would justify the absence of an on-screen indicator for the third weapon. But you still lose the third weapon if you go down, and you're not gonna have it until you go and buy Mule Kick again. And if you have a Wonder Weapon as your third weapon, and you go down, it could be too chaotic for you to recover without your Wonder Weapon. You might not be able to make it to the Mule Kick machine without your Wonder Weapon. And it's just good to know what you stand to lose if you go down. If you buy Mule Kick as one of your first 3 perks, then you're not gonna lose it if you go down, which does help with that issue. Out of the 5 tier upgrades that Mule Kick offers, 2 of them are equipment based. And if you didn't know by now, recently all equipment in Cold War Zombies got buffed. Their damage now scales properly with the rounds, so they're pretty much always gonna be good no matter what round you're on. They're so good now that people are using Semtex grenades as a high round strategy, because it's able to wipe out entire hordes of zombies. So now the equipment are so much more viable and so much more important, which makes Mule Kick a more important perk. The first tier upgrade allows you to get an additional equipment when you craft one, so if you go to the crafting table and buy a decoy grenade, you're now gonna get 2 for the price of 1. Which is good. But this might just be me personally, but I don't really craft equipment that often, and that's because the game is really generous with the equipment drops. The one thing that has a really low drop rate is the Monkey Bomb, and the Monkey Bomb is just not as big of a deal as it used to be back in the day. In the old Zombies, the Monkey Bomb was this rare, incredible thing you would get out of the box that was capable of saving you and keeping you safe while you revive your teammates, and it was just a really valuable item. Now if you want to revive anyone, you can use Healing Aura, you can use Ether Shroud or Frenzied Guard, and that's if they don't revive themselves first, since we have a Self-Revive, Quick Revive, and Tombstone. And on top of that, you can just use Decoy Grenades, which are a much more available alternative. There's no winding animation, you can throw them instantly, you get them as drops all the time, and if you want to craft them, they're 500 salvage, which is really not that much. So the Monkey Bomb is just not as valuable anymore. And if you want to craft them, they cost 1000 salvage. That being said, if you find yourself in need of a Monkey Bomb, if you have Mule Kick, you can craft the Monkey Bomb for 1000 salvage, and you will get 2 instead of 1, which means you'll save 1000 salvage, and salvage is very important. You need it to upgrade your guns, you need it to buy armor and equipment, and if there's anything in the game that helps you save salvage, you should take advantage of that. The one thing that kind of bothers me about this is that we got the Gersh Gersh device as an equipment now, and it costs 2,000 salvage, and you can only carry one at a time, which means that this particular benefit that the first tier upgrade offers doesn't apply to the Gersh device, which is the best equipment in the game right now. But it's still a really good thing because now people are running high rounds using Semtex grenades, and it just makes them more affordable, and you can keep buying them and using them without having to worry about running low on salvage or equipment. The other equipment related benefit is the 4th tier upgrade, which gives you a 25% chance to keep non-retrievable equipment when used. That means that sometimes when you throw a Semtex or a stun grenade, it doesn't get deducted from your inventory, and you get back what you use. There are 2 items that are excluded from this. One is obviously the Tomahawk, because you can just retrieve it and reuse it over and over again, and the other thing is the C4, and for some reason the C4 is also not included in the 4th tier upgrade. The one thing that is included, however, is the Gersh device, which is great, because in their blog post, Treyarch mentioned that we're supposed to get the Gersh device as a drop as well, but I have never seen the Gersh device as a drop. I'm pretty sure it's only available to be crafted, and since the only way to get it is to craft it and it's pretty expensive, the 4th tier upgrade giving you a chance to get back the Gersh device that you use makes Mule Kick a much better perk. The other 2 tier upgrades are ammo related. The 2nd tier upgrade provides a small chance for the enemies to drop ammo. In Call of Duty Zombies in general, ammo is very important. Now granted, it's not as important in this game as it was in the previous titles, simply because now we have ammo crates and we can just buy ammo for any weapon. But if you want to buy ammo for a wonder weapon, it costs a lot of points, and you need those points because you need to pack a punch and upgrade your weapons and buy perks, and they're all pretty expensive. So you can't afford to keep buying ammo. And even though the boss zombies do drop ammo when they die, having more ammo at your disposal means that you can use your wonder weapon more frequently. It means that you don't have to be as conservative as you would be otherwise. So not only will you have one less thing to worry about, it also increases your efficiency because you would be using your wonder weapon more often, which means you would be killing zombies faster, and it would increase your chances of survival and add longevity to your game. The 3rd tier upgrade is interesting because it comes with a minor disadvantage that I don't think many people have picked up on yet. The 3rd tier upgrade makes it so that your stowed weapons slowly refill ammo from their stock. This is just Bandolier Bandit from Black Ops 4 Zombies copied and pasted, just like the 2nd tier upgrade is copied and pasted from Vulture Raid. But the problem with the 3rd tier upgrade is that it doesn't work well with the 2nd tier upgrade. Because of the 2nd tier upgrade, you get more ammo drops. And the way ammo drops work in Cold War Zombies is that if you don't have enough ammo, you can just walk over them and you'll automatically pick them up. If you have only 1 bullet left in your magazine, but your stock is full, if you walk over the ammo drop, you're not gonna pick it up. You're only gonna be able to pick it up if your stock is not full. So generally, the best practice is to empty your magazine, reload, and then pick up the ammo drop. Because if your stock is 1 bullet short from a full stock, you're still gonna pick up that ammo mod if you walk over it. And you could get a lot more out of it if you emptied your magazine and used it to kill more zombies before picking up that ammo drop. Because the ammo drops give you a certain amount of ammo unless your stock gets full. So you don't want to pick up that ammo drop if you're only a few bullets short. You want to wait, use more of your ammo, and then pick it up, so you can get the full amount that each ammo drop gives you. Now, with the 2nd tier upgrade basically giving you more ammo drops, if you're training, sometimes what happens is that as you're killing zombies and running around, the zombies that you kill will drop some ammo, and you're gonna walk over them and accidentally pick them up. And to solve that problem, when your stock is full, you want to wait till your magazine is completely empty before you reload. So that way, when you accidentally walk over those ammo drops, you don't pick them up when you don't want to. And if you have 2 weapons and you're alternating between the 2, you can use one until the magazine is near empty, then use the other one until the magazine is empty, reload both weapons, and then pick up the ammo drop. And that will allow you to get the most out of those ammo drops. And the problem with the 3rd tier upgrade is that once you use your first weapon that has a full stock, and then switch to your 2nd weapon and start killing zombies with it, they're gonna drop some ammo and you're gonna accidentally walk over it, but this time you'll pick it up when you don't want to. And that's because as you're holding your second weapon, your first weapon is taking ammo from the full stock and putting it in the magazine, which means that you don't have a full stock anymore, so you'll pick up the ammo drop unintentionally. As you're holding your second weapon, your first weapon reloads when you don't want it to, so you'll pretty much waste an ammo drop that you could have gotten a lot more out of. A lot of the times I was using 2 weapons and a wonder weapon, and I wanted to only pick up those ammo drops for my wonder weapon, but I still wanted to use the other 2 weapons for their ammo mods. So I would use 1 bullet on my shotgun to activate Brain Rot, and I would use 1 bullet on my other gun to activate Shatter Blast, and then I would switch to my wonder weapon, and I would accidentally walk over an ammo drop and pick it up and basically just get my 2 bullets back, when normally I wouldn't reload those other weapons and wait until I used a decent amount of ammo on my wonder weapon just so I can use those ammo drops to replenish the ammo on my wonder weapon instead of the 1 bullet on my shotgun. It's a small problem in the grand scheme of things, but it's the first thing I noticed about this tier upgrade. I wasn't thinking about how beneficial this tier upgrade is, I was thinking how it's ruining my strategy. So when you really think about it, the character of Mule Kick still hasn't really changed that much. It's still a perk that offers pros and cons. It has definitely improved, it's better than its previous versions, it's much more useful now, and the funny thing is, the best things about this version of Mule Kick are the things that have nothing to do with being able to carry a third weapon. You use Mule Kick in this game to get more ammo. That's the #1 reason, and you're gonna use it to occasionally get your equipment back. You can use a third weapon to take advantage of mainly an additional ammo mod, so you can strategize and sort of stack their effects just like we all used to do in Black Ops 3 Zombies. That's where Mule Kick is actually Mule Kick. The one last thing I have to mention is the perk machine. This is definitely the best looking perk machine in Cold War Zombies. And not only does it look cool, when you buy Mule Kick, the perk machine shoots the zombies around you, which is so awesome and it's a lot of fun to watch. So if you need to repurchase Mule Kick, definitely use the perk machine. It's worth it just to see the zombies get shredded by a perk machine. Overall, I think Mule Kick is a good addition. With some minor changes, I think it could even be better. It's far from the best perk in the game, and it's definitely not the worst perk in the game. And I'm glad that the people that wanted it back finally got what they were asking for. That is gonna do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think of Mule Kick in Cold War Zombies. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Across the fields, across the plains, he ran so fast he dodged the rain. He was a BURRO, eagerly began to save the day. Gun in hand, and lies they say. He was strong like a mule, he was stubborn like a mule, he even kicked like a mule.